I know it's none of my business. I love your sparkles.
Anything that's pleasing to you is your business.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you. That's probably a perfect entry point because a new question arose right now. Because when I'm sitting here, I feel so much pleasure in my body and so much like sparkles and light and expanded beingness. I feel so in tune with that oneness that you were just talking about. And I feel that when I'm hula hooping, when I'm dancing, when I'm writing, and floating in the salt pool and playing with friends. And then other times there's this mundane sense that can take up a big chunk of my experience, and I don't.
But nothing has to be mundane. It is your perspective of it that makes it so. But it's not just your perspective of it in the moment that it feels that way. It's your perspective of it leading up to that moment. Every moment could be alive and full for you. In fact, it leads very nicely from the conversation that we just had, because every moment you could be completely intertwined with that broader non-physical part of you who is enjoying all of the aspects of whatever you are about. We say from time to time, in fact we say it quite often, that you can't go back. And so we know that when you taste a period of time, when you allow yourself to be in alignment, that you allow a momentum to happen that gets feeling so good that feeling less than that good just doesn't feel that good. And that may be what you're calling that mundaneness.
Yeah.
But you can help all of those moments by doing what we've called pre-paving, by anticipating in advance, or by acknowledging. And here's a piece. This is what we would do if we were in your physical shoes. We would acknowledge that everything that we desire, which means everything that we are becoming, think about that. All of your desires that you wish to manifest is just another way of saying all that I am becoming. So all that you are becoming, all that you are in the process of becoming, you want to be as conscious of that becoming as possible, which means you want to be as present in the moment, which means you want to be as open to the receiving of the energy in that moment as possible. And so the more time you spend, or the more intent you have for doing what we call pre-paving, which is anticipating energy flowing in advance. Begin again. In any moment in time, what most humans are focused upon are the manifestations that have already happened. In other words, once you can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it, it's manifested. And so the things that you are looking at that are manifested have less potential to really please you than the things that are still in the process of becoming. So as you've been enjoying, you've been feeling all light and bright and exhilarated, it's because you are in an arena where things are becoming. We are together taking thought where it has not been before. And so this is that new place where new thoughts are coming into the foreground, where you can focus your consciousness on them and feel the satisfaction of what your inner being knows and what you know being met together. There is so much that is potential to be discovered, and your inner being is queued up and ready for the discovery of it. And when you are queued up and ready for the discovery of it, and the discovery happens, in that moment you feel that elation or that euphoria or that new motion forward. Well, technically every moment of your life can be like that, because your inner being knows what's in your vortex and already understands. Your inner being has been able to do much more segment intending about the things that are coming. So the more you are, maybe just in general terms, positively anticipating the next moment and the next moment, then the less mundane and the more really satisfying your moments will be. Something that helps is to acknowledge how satisfied you feel. When you say it's mundane, that sounds like dissatisfaction. When you acknowledge that you are satisfied, that takes that vibration that is about mundane away, and it leaves you open for new discovery. There is so much newness in the thought. Humans just want the newness to be about the manifestations, but there is so much newness along the way that is so satisfying in nature. And then the manifestation, of course, is satisfying too, but it's not the only game in town. There are many along the way. Is that helpful?
I feel deeply satisfied right now.
Something more?
I just love you, and I love the bag and the book so much. I've had bags and books that I've loved before. These are the best ones I've ever had, like with the zipper and the way the book fits in and the way the pen writes so beautifully. I really love them.
And so that manifestation is so satisfying.
Yeah.
And you would have enjoyed being in on all of the thought that came before, all of the conversation and all of the thought and all of the things that were considered, everything. And the things that you said were things that Esther and Tracy were considering 6 months ago. And so can you imagine how satisfying that will be for Esther when she listens back to hear the satisfaction of your manifestation? That's what we're talking about, because there was a lot of satisfying thought about all of those gifts before the gifts even existed. You see what we're getting at?
Yes.
Before they were even something to see or to feel in your hands or to acknowledge or witness in any way. There was so much satisfaction that happened before they became a thing that you all could then start talking about. That's really what we're talking about. There's so much satisfaction along the way that just keeps your juices going and keeps you realizing that you are the creator of important things. And what could be more important than a bag?
Only a notebook.
Really good. Really good.